We go live, do we?
Well, we have an excuse because of what happened in the middle of the night. So, last night at 3 a.m., our house was shaking. There was an earthquake in this particular area.
There was. It was a small one. It was only 3.0 or whatever, but we were in the middle of the epicenter, so we really felt it. And I think it freaked Michelle out.
A lot.
Yeah.
That was the strongest I've ever felt,
Yeah.
in my life.
Good morning, Irish Slugs. Happy Thursday. Is it Thursday today?
Yes.
Happy
Thursday.
Friday Junior to you guys. How are you doing?
Good morning, fabulous fashion for you.
Yeah, so I went to bed super late yesterday because I don't know, I've just been going to bed late.
Yeah.
And then I was in bed trying to fall asleep when the earthquake hit, and then Michelle freaked out. I grabbed my dog. So I've grown up in Southern California and there's always earthquakes out here. So fabulous fashion for you. Where are you located? I know Irish Slugs is in Florida, right? I think.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay. But anyway, yeah. So I've grown up around earthquakes. I traveled abroad and I've been through earthquakes. I was in Italy 2 years ago. There was a large earthquake there. It was on the news. I was in Mexico with my mom and dad as a child. Oh, sorry, Connecticut. And there was an earthquake there that Atlanta. Awesome. Good morning, WLIN6411. And yeah, there was a huge earthquake in Mexico. My parents were there on a business trip and their hotel got evacuated because it split apart. It's split in half.
Oh my gosh.
So I've been through earthquakes, right? So usually when there's an earthquake, it's whatever, it's an earthquake. I'm used to it. But last night, okay, this is how it usually goes when there's a large earthquake. All right. So before a large earthquake, there's usually a smaller earthquake. And within a few minutes right after that, there's a much larger one. And I've experienced that several times in my life with large earthquakes. So what I usually do is when I feel something like that, I go on my phone and I start tracking the earthquakes. And if I see that there's a lot of earthquakes around the same epicenter, then I feel fine. I'm not concerned. But if I notice there's been no earthquakes and then there was one earthquake, then I'm like, oh my gosh, brace yourselves because there could be another one coming, a bigger one coming. So Irish Lux said that I've never been through an earthquake in my life. Hurricanes and tornadoes, yes.
Ooh, those are scary too. I've never been through hurricanes and tornadoes.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, so the question is which one would you prefer? Yeah. And for us, because we've never been through hurricane and tornado. And Michelle has never really been through an earthquake, and she has never felt them. Not the first time.
Yeah, not a big one. I mean, there was a time I was in the Philippines, and that was a 7-point-something earthquake. I was in the middle of the ocean. We were on vacation, and
what were you doing in the middle of the ocean? Swimming?
Swimming.
Oh, wow.
And we were on vacation with my family, and I was like, yay! There's nothing gonna drop on me. Not knowing, I was a kid, I didn't know anything about tsunami. So I guess we got lucky.
Ignorance is bliss, they say. But Fabulous Fashion for You said we lost our house in Hurricane Andrew,
wow.
which is really, really devastating, and really, really sorry to hear that. Man, yeah, so hurricanes definitely freak me out. We've seen that on the news. We've seen all the, destruction that they've caused in families.
Yeah.
And how do you recover from that? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? How devastating and yeah, so definitely those freak me out. I would rather much have an earthquake. It's quick and fast. And we've been lucky in California,
Yeah.
The homes are made out of wood, so they shift a lot. The homes are always shifting around. Good morning, Mama Ventures. Happy Thursday to you.
So Irish Lux and Fabulous Fashion for You and Mama Ventures or Ventures. Are you guys part-time resellers or full-time resellers? And today we want to talk about how to stay motivated as a reseller.
That's right. Yes. So today's going to be very informal. So let me put it in the comments. We're just going to discuss different things about motivation. So let me pin the topic, and Michelle, you can talk.
So how do you guys stay motivated as a reseller?
So why don't you answer the question?
I always have a hard time staying motivated, but my answer is actually something I learned from Marina, is just take action. Like, if you don't kind of overthink, if you don't like think about what ifs and just take action, that is something that really helps me stay motivated, because once you're doing something, it kind of keeps a momentum and you start seeing result, and the result would kind of motivate you even more to do more.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So Irish Luck said part-time, moving to full-time eventually. Hopefully, that's my long-term plan. W. Lynn 6411 said part-time, working toward full-time, and fabulous fashion for you. Some days full-time, some days part-time. Now, good morning, Fabby's Finds. Irish Luck said, unfortunately, my motivation is I love to source. source. Sometimes that's my downfall. Okay, now I used to think, like, I've heard that too, and I used to think that also, but with the way things have been going lately in our business, which has been like, we've been aiming to source daily. Mm-hmm. So before the pandemic, we were sourcing only once a week, just on Saturday mornings. If you guys check out our YouTube channel, we have some videos of us sourcing, and we document the whole thing, right? Since, 6, 7 a.m. until around 11:30.
Yeah.
And we would get a lot of stuff, but we've pivoted our business to where we must source every day, and our items are selling every day. Mm-hmm. And our profits are much better than they were before. So our profits are almost like, I think, 3 times what they used to be before the pandemic.
Yeah.
About 2 to 3 times higher.
So it's smart sourcing.
It's smart sourcing, yeah. So, if you have something that you love when you are when you're doing the reselling business, like, if your love is sourcing, bank on that. It's not a negative, it's definitely a positive. And so I would bank on that, and I would look for items that are selling quickly, right? That actually have a high sell-through rate that people want, and that cost more money. Not out of your pocket necessarily, but that people are going to pay more for the item, so you can put more money in your pocket. Good morning, Christine's World. And W. Lynn 6411 said, I give myself a daily listing goal, but I tend to burn myself out after a while. So can you tell us more about that? So again, motivation, right? So Michelle has a hard time with that sometimes.
Yeah. So listing is always a hassle to kind of like take photos, and then you got to list your items. But programs or websites like Vendoo has helped significantly, because it makes it so much easier. And if I don't know, WLN 64111, if you're using cross-listing platforms, if you're not, definitely use it. It's really, really, really helpful. My daily goal is, I basically have an idea of what I need to accomplish in my mind. And let's say today, okay, I'm going to try to tackle everything that we have in the inventory, because right now our inventory is like right here, and we're not really listing that fast.
Which is bad, you guys. That's really bad.
We're not listing as fast as the inventory come in, because you got to test the item, you got to take photos, you got to knock off the background. So don't be discouraged. I think for me, I just keep doing my best every single day, and at the same time, you got to think about, okay, I need a certain amount of time to sleep. I need to make sure I'm also healthy. So do your best every day. That's really what I'm trying to do every day.
Good morning, Ria Sells. Good morning, the Greater Goods, Arizona. Mama Venture says, you guys are great motivation. I love this. I love that this community shares their success and share how they did. Thank you, Mama Ventures. We really appreciate that. It warms our heart to hear that we are motivating you guys out there. But actually, I was gonna touch on that. When you need the motivation, you should definitely look for other resellers to get some inspiration and motivation. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right. So we follow other resellers that we see are putting in the work every day. That is extremely motivating to us, because look, no matter what, if you put in the work every day, like if you push yourself to do it every day, you are going to see results. Now, I did see a comment where someone said, I'm getting burnt out sometimes with the listings. Like, I don't know about you guys, but what motivates me, even when I put in the work, is when I see the results, right? It makes it like all worth it. So once we start seeing like we're getting more profits, and like right now with our profits, we're really just using it to learn and invest in our business, to be honest. But we have goals, right? We have long-term goals, and like what we're doing now is like building confidence, right? Building confidence and competence. And once you do build that competence from a lot of trial and error, you build the confidence to grow and do more. And, financially, we both have full-time job. Well, I have a part-time job. She has a full-time job. But we're basically working 40 hours a week doing those things, right? So you would think like, oh, what's the motivation of reselling? But for us, we have financial goals that we would like to meet. So Reseller said, I get so burnt out from my day job and family stuff. Yes.
Yeah, Reseller, I can imagine. I mean, we don't have any children, and it's just like, I can't imagine just having a family and then you got your day job. But focus on your goals, focus on the why. I think if you focus on the progress and the why, it really helps you. Okay, my mind should not go to the idea of being burnt out. Maybe my mind is, okay, I can do a little bit more today, and just focus on the progress. And sometimes, we get burnt out, and sometimes it's okay to take care of yourself. Take a break,
yeah. Like for example, today I'm not sourcing because I do have a lot of work on my plate. I have like, don't tell anybody, but I have like 200 or something grading that I have to do for my students. And it's been taking me a while because I go in and I give them all a lot of feedback. But I'm not going to go sourcing today so that I could feel on top of my job and get those things done that I need to for my students.
Yeah.
So take a day off here and there, but work hard, work hard and find out, why do you feel burnt out? Like what's going on, so that you can look to shifting whatever is making you feel that way, right? Because if you're overworked, you do need to take a break. You need some self-love and self-care.
Yeah.
Right? But sometimes too, like in our mind, mentally, we're our own worst enemy. So like a lot of times it's about changing, like what are we saying to ourselves in our heads, right? Another really, really big thing is diet. Like what are we eating? I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, food, healthy food, a lot of fresh food, it makes you feel more energized and motivated. And I'm not even joking. What are you watching on TV? Are you watching a lot of news?
Yeah.
The news is so unmotivating to me.
So Reseller says, I want to retire early and pay off kids' loans, but even adult children can be exhausting.
And I'm an adult child, so is Michelle. And my mom has 3 adult children, and I know we can exhaust her sometimes. So set your boundaries, Ria. I know it's hard with family, but you got to set some time for yourself.
Yeah.
Something that set time for yourself.
Sorry, Marina. Something that I learned in high school, my psychology teacher gave me an advice, and I'll never forget. And she basically says, do something good to yourself every single day. Just even one little thing. It could be cook yourself a very nice meal. It could be taking a hot bath. It could be just spend an hour watching your favorite show.
Yep.
Just one little thing. And I think overall, your overall mental well-being will be much better, much more positive.
I have to say your psychology teacher is super bright because I do that every day. So I finish teaching my class at like 9:30 p.m. at night, right? And I'm exhausted after class. And I have to grade and I have to do like a lot of stuff for school. And I turn on and I watch my favorite shows on Netflix and Hulu while I'm working. And that makes me so stinking happy. So yes, like find joy in little things and do them. Do those little things. All right. So Reseller says watching you two is for me alone.
So I have two more things that I kind of want to recommend. One is, I don't know if you guys know Mel Robbins. She is an amazing speaker, motivational speaker. She was a CNN anchor or legal advisor. She has this book called 5-Second Rules. That itself will motivate you on what you need to do. Basically, the idea is our mind tends to overthink. But if you give yourself 5-second rule and take action within that 5 seconds, it'll make you kind of like get up and do what you need to do without overthinking. It's a very great tool.
Yep. Irish said, have to go. Thank you. You're welcome. Again, with what Michelle said, I agree with that. I was tired this morning because we woke up from an earthquake. I went to bed late last night. Have been doing that, and it was hard to get out of bed this morning. And I thought of Mel Robbins. It's like, don't even think, just do it, right? And check her out if you haven't. She has a viral TED Talk video, so just Google her name, Mel, M-E-L, Robbins, like Baskin Robbins, R-O-B-B-I-N-S. She has a little 5-minute snippet video. It's life-changing.
And her audiobook is amazing. Like if you're listing, if you're taking photos, play her audiobook, play her podcast. She keeps me motivated as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we did want to post this one question. Good morning, Flippin' Prodigy. So this question was on an eBay reseller, what do we call that?
Community board.
A forum, yeah. So let's see, that's the wrong one. Okay, this one. So this person is asking, and I can't actually read that because of our head is in the way. Can you put it on your phone or something?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll read it.
Good morning, Flippin' Prodigy. Michelle's going to read this question.
So the question goes, how do you stay motivated to continue listing in and out? Seriously,
day in and day out.
Seriously, I'm going from part-time to full-time, selling for the next 30 days or so until I start a new job. I finally had enough after 15 years and quit. Plenty in savings, so not worry about starving. Just always nice to have cash flow. I know I cannot sit and do this day in and out without losing my mind. I'm normally a very active person who sits and lists for about 10 hours a week. I'm thinking of dawn walk and maybe hitting the gym midday. Any other ideas? My product I sell primarily comes from eBay and pickers who call when they have what I need. I'm looking at 300 plus minus listings per week. I also don't want to spend a great time on the board. So suggestions, please.
Boy, do we have some. Can you leave that open though so I can look at it if you don't mind? So first of all, where he or she said, they have enough money in their savings, right? But they want some motivation. How can you have motivation when you have enough money in your savings? You know what I mean? Look, there has to be a strong why as to why you're doing what you're doing. There has to be a strong why. And
that's true. And then
he or she just said, just always nice to have cash flow. It doesn't sound like you really want it. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Like you have to, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you have to really stink and want that. Like from the very bottom of the last cell in your heart and lungs. You know what I mean? Like it has to be like that. And I'm not even joking on that. But okay, let's look at some practical things though. Because he or she said it's always nice to have cash flow and not one way. Yeah, you don't want to be out there sourcing and spending money and not getting the money back. So it's a very simple solution, whether you're motivated or not. Do not buy anything that you didn't look up, and we always use on eBay or Google, that you see there is a demand for and that people are buying. Don't make that mistake. That's a rookie mistake. You are going to make it, but just listen to that tip. You're going to hear it again and again and again from experienced and seasoned resellers. Do not make that mistake. Did want to let you guys know, we have an ebook of 20 reseller mistakes to avoid. It is available in our store. We do talk about this in there. And Flippin' Prodigy is asking if it was on Reddit. It wasn't.
It was on the eBay community area where you can ask other sellers questions.
Yep.
So I
don't know if you guys knew, but eBay has a forum, a seller forum. It was in there. So then the other thing is, I know I can't sit and do this day in and day out without losing my mind. You're in the wrong business. You know what I mean? Like, okay. But look, if you're a solopreneur, like you got to do it all. But let's do some practical advice, right? If you cannot do this day in and day out without losing your mind, you can go half-time. You'll make less money, right? Mm-hmm. You'll make less money. You can go half-time. This person says that they get all of their items from eBay when it becomes available. Are you making enough profit on your items? Mm-hmm. Right? Maybe you have to change your strategy and look for a higher profiting item.
Yeah.
Because 300 listings a week is a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
but I also think that whoever wrote that has, this is something I'm going to quote Mary Robbins too. We tend to go to our fear very immediately because it's human nature to want to protect, ourselves, just based on the history of our existence. And we always tend to, attract fear for some reason. And so it's important to generate positive thoughts. So this person is saying, I don't want to do this day in and out. He or she was focusing on his fear or her fear. And I think, you could tell, right? So it has to do with your mindset.
Yes, 100%. I can see what Michelle's point is, and it's fantastic. I agree with that. Like, our minds are complicated. We are complicated creatures by nature. Do not complicate entrepreneurship, guys. It's not hard. It's not hard. Do not overthink. Get busy. Go get it done. All right. So Flippin' Prodigy said he didn't know that about the eBay forums, learning something new every day. And then the Flippin' Prodigy said, how much is your ebook about 20 common rookie reseller mistakes? It's $19. Yeah, $19. And the 20 reseller mistakes that we talk about in there are the top 20 to avoid as a reseller. Mm-hmm. We give a lot of tips in there. It's a really nice ebook that you can use on your iPad, mm-hmm. which I absolutely love reading ebooks on my iPad.
Another thing I kind of want to point out is...
let me just tell you guys where you can find that. It is available on our website, flippinggals.com, and there's a direct link in our bio for that.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yep. One more thing that I want to touch upon is that... I already lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. No, but she was saying, we do have fears, right? Like, this person here has fears, right? And they don't want to sit here day in and day out. They're afraid of losing motivation. They're afraid of being bored doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
No. Like, don't think about that. Like we mentioned, what I was piggybacking on what you said is we're complicated creatures, but entrepreneurship doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
Making money and profits doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
So if your issue is I have 300 listings a week, oh my gosh, of course that's going to unmotivate me to have to list 300 things in 1 week.
But what if you change your mindset and say, oh my God, I'm going to throw out 300 listings and there's going to be so many people going to look at my listing. What if you think about that, right? Right? It's still true.
100%, yeah. Flipping Prodigy said, I'm assuming it's $20 because there are 20 tips. $1 tip, I approve. How cute is that? Thank you so much. And Reseller says, I fear the return and I don't know why. Returning of products, is that what we're referring to?
Yeah.
We fear that too. We fear that too.
The thing is, we can control what we do, but we can't control what other people do.
Exactly.
So the only thing is think about it logically. Okay, can I control what they think? Can I control if they want to scam me or whatever? No. So focus on you doing your best, providing the best service, and that's it. Stop there. But we have those type of fears, and we try not to get there. Sorry, I have to point out this thing before I forget.
Please. Okay.
One more thing is if you feel like your business is kind of like flat and not moving, it's not going anywhere, and then you're losing motivation, one thing that I've learned is kind of look back, reevaluate, reflect on what you're doing. Are you growing? Are you doing something wrong? Are you sourcing the right items? And that's something that we've seen in the last 2 weeks is that we kind of change our sourcing strategy, and it kind of like our sales kind of like is going a little bit higher with almost the same amount of work. So that is another thing is if you are not motivated, kind of do a self-check. Look at how you're doing, evaluate, look at the numbers, and numbers are facts. So based on that, see what your next steps would be.
Very good. Yes. And this person that, from the forum said, I'm thinking, they don't want to list. They said, I'm normally a very active person who sits and lists for about 10 hours a week. You cannot list 300 items for 10 hours a week. So you want to change that to, change your items to something more profitable. Also thinking of doing a dawn walk and hitting the gym. No, just kidding. Yes, do one of those things. Don't do both, spend the time that is necessary to get that business going. And then you're going to get momentum and then you're going to get motivation. Mm-hmm. So first get your momentum and motivation and then think about doing those other things in there. Unless you're like super, burnt out and you need to do it. All right. Good morning, Vanity Box 18. Now we did have another person respond to this person here. And they said, I do online sales full time. eBay is only a part of it. So knowing that the mortgage, electric, heat, insurance need to be paid is motivation. And the need for decent groceries in the fridge and cupboards. Boy, can I attest to that. Michelle and I and our dogs, we like to spend money on good quality food because that's really important for us to do that. We buy everything organic. We are not, we're not, cheap in the area when it comes to food. Then he or she said, I can see that in your case, it would be a bit different where you are in a temporary transition and that you anticipate job in the near future and have backup funds to get you through. That's what we said. Not sure how I would handle that. Part of me would say, why bother? That's what we said. Yet I do like positive cash flow. I would have to pretend that backup funds weren't there and then challenge myself to list as many items per day or week or something. How funny. We said basically the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so the person is not having motivation for a reason. So trick your brain. Your brain is your computer. It's your leader. It's your guide. Trick your brain into thinking whatever it needs to make you go out there and get it done. Good morning, Thrifty Space Queen. So if you guys do have any struggles or issues or concerns, or you are lacking motivation, send us a direct message during the week. Mm-hmm. If you have any questions or concerns, we're happy to navigate through those things with you and get you back and running.
Yeah.
Fabulous Fashion for You said, every time I have a sale, it motivates me to list more. Yes! And that's what we're talking about, right? That's what we're talking about, is building that kind of momentum in your business that gives you motivation to continue and do it more.
Yes.
Right? When you guys do have sales, right? It's not celebrate your sale, but take a second to think, and how can you get more of those in your business so you could sell more of those? Flippin' Prodigy said, I might cop it later when I start reselling. I'm currently just selling old items around my place that I no longer use. I've profited about $750 in the last 30 days. Congratulations. That's awesome. Trying to reach about 2,000-ish. Flippin' Prodigy. It's never too late to start reselling. You can start tomorrow or this weekend. Mm-hmm. Yes, but that's fantastic news and very inspiring to hear that you're doing that.
And I'm very happy to hear that you have a goal, and because that's super important. And once you hit that 2,000, you're like, okay, what's next? How can we do better? And keep going from there.
So we're gonna leave off with that really great. Of course, don't forget we have our meme still, but we're gonna leave off with that really great thing that Michelle said about a goal. And maybe you heard us say this before, but January 1st of 2020 this year, we wrote down on our calendar that we wanted to earn about $1,000 profit a week. We have already met that. We started meeting that a couple of weeks ago. We didn't do it on purpose. So there has been a lot of writing out there about goals and writing them down. Write it down, put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. You don't have to focus on it every day, but your brain subconsciously is going to notice it. Put it on your calendar, and then it's going to start helping you work toward that, because your brain is going to feel super uncomfortable that you are not meeting your goal, right? So thanks again for sharing that. That was really fantastic. We appreciate that. And last but not least, we're going to end with the meme for the day. And here's a little mouse with a mouse trap, and there's cheese on there. And it says, what doesn't kill you, at the bottom says, makes you stronger. And the little mouse is doing, I don't know what you call those things, right? Like push-ups or something on the mouse trap. So he didn't die. He ate the cheese, and now he's doing his little like push-ups or whatever. I don't know what that's called. But that's right, guys. So if you didn't die, okay, this is not a good joke during a pandemic.
What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So, yes, and Flippin' Prodigy said that's exactly why I got to the gym every day. Good job.
7 every day.
At 7 every day. All right, guys, we hope that you have a wonderful, beautiful
Thursday.
Friday, Junior. Mm-hmm. And we will see all of you tomorrow. Please send us a DM, a direct message if you have any ideas for things to talk about. Flippin' Prodigy said smart rat. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that was good.
You see, maybe we should